This week's episode of Behind the Billboard is sponsored by Bauer Media Outdoor.
Hello, mate.
Why are you laughing already?
I'm just thinking about football. We haven't
fuck
even
football.
discussed.
Fucking don't want to talk about it.
Sorry.
By the time this goes out, it'll be July. We'll be thinking, actually, today, England are playing in the semi-final of the World Cup.
But do you know what? But do you know, in our real world
And the final's on the weekend. This coming weekend, England are in the final.
But you know, this time last year, we were playing each other in the Europa League final.
Yeah, that's right.
United Spurs.
So
it would have been in Manchester. Anyway, sorry. Don't want to go on about football.
Fuck football.
Anyway, we're
Done.
third. Yeah, so...
Hoping to win the World Cup. Cheer
yeah,
out.
I hope we've won the World Cup now, and we are...
No. It's the semi-finals.
Okay,
today is
we're going to lose to
semi-finals.
France on penalties anyway. It's nice to see you.
Cricket season's in full swing.
Cricket, Formula
golf.
One,
Yeah,
tennis. Andy Murray won again. I know he's
anything but
retired.
football. Anyway, we've got a good one today.
Yeah.
But before we get to our guest, we need to hear about a powerful poster.
Hi Dan and Hugh, Sarah Goslin here from Bauer Media Outdoor, and my powerful poster of the week has to be our recent European Pride campaign in collaboration with the very talented, to say the least, creative team over at M&C Saatchi, entitled Pride is Everything. I love this campaign because it gave such a visual and public facing medium back to the community where spaces have been very much taken away at a rapid rate, and they were able to share what Pride meant to them rather than us telling them. The campaign used real photography and even disposable camera imagery taken by the queer community that shared moments of fight, sadness, tenderness, and the everyday moments that make the community what it is, which is a very, very special place to be. Because Pride is duct tape, it's sacrifice, unlearning pronouns, relearning pronouns, top surgery, being family, being mother, and quite simply, Pride is everything, which is why I love this campaign so much.
Very nice.
Very good.
I like that
Very,
one.
very good.
So, do you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about Ooh, That's Nice. And all
That's nice.
Lovely things we've been seeing. But there is some good stuff that I saw from, we did a tactical piece, didn't we?
What about Cannes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cannes.
Because Cannes has happened now. So I wonder, from all the Ooh, That's Nice that we were posting, how that's all done.
Yeah, well, I really hope the Duncan at home stuff is
Duncan
done
at home, yeah, I love Duncan at home. We
those guys in the-
oohed that up.
But I think actually talking about the World Cup, there was a very nice campaign based on a Canadian airline.
Yes.
Where they did the sort of stripe on the pitch and then the sort of air trail, which is really...
See England, watch England, see England?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really clever. It's from an agency called Courage in Canada, and they consistently do brilliant work. They also did the Kit Kat... onto the lorry thing.
Yes.
So VML do it globally, and we spoke about that quite a lot actually recently. I know that's nice, but that was one way it's just so clever. What
it was
done.
Also a nice piece of commentary about how ridiculously expensive it is to go and watch your country play football in America, Canada, and Mexico.
I was talking about the truck, the Kit Kat thing as well. But it's like there's been some great work. I mean, I don't know. It's a sort of a strange thing, when we say what we think is good and then the world kind of gets together and stuff comes up. I mean, Kit Kat won the Grand Prix last year.
There's loads of stuff that we don't see as well that, we need to see more. We're very fortunate for this segment to be sponsored by our friends at View to Fill, the photography and video experts for out of home. And they are going to be giving us loads more content for our feeds. So keep an eye out for that. And if you are after some photography for your out of home campaigns, then do get in touch with our friends at View to Fill. Anyway, today we have
Axel Chaldecott.
Axel
Chaldecott. I worked with at JWT for quite a few years, and he's just a brilliant human.
What's
great
he doing
person.
there? Painting.
He's not painting.
Not
Apparently
painting.
He's
screen printing.
Screen printing. But he is the C of Howell Henry Chaldecott Lury, HHCL. So he's the C, and they were the mother of their day. Very much. They were the forerunner of rebelistic agencies, punk agencies. They talk about how they
sell.
They sold after about a decade. I think I remember Adam and I and a lot of people always hearing that they're on the verge of going bust every week, and then they would do something amazing for Tango, and you'd go, how can they be? And they were just a really fucking
smashing out work.
So, yeah,
First Direct we'll talk about today.
First Direct, and then we'll talk about his time before that at GGT for Time Out, and obviously for LWT. LWT is a big one we haven't covered. We know Dave Dye's covered it a bit on his pod, but we've never covered it in depth, so we're going to do it.
No, I think that is that's probably more for us, because it's, certainly from my background with digital, I think it's a...
Yeah.
It was in a lot of my pitch decks when we're talking about doing updatable content. So
it's going to be good. And Axe is just he's also got the best laugh in the business.
I'm looking forward to meeting him. Never met him.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go and get him.
You go and get him. Episode 113. We just worked that out, by the way.
You just said you hate this. God, it's like, being married for years. Anyway, Axel Chaldecott, art director, creative director, agency founder, global CCO, and now printmaker. Welcome to Behind the Billboard.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Right, so before we get into it, Axe, first of all, thanks for coming. I was going to say here on my script, it says, thanks for putting your paintbrushes down, but I know there aren't paintbrushes, so I'm sorry. Your printing press.
Yes.
So you've left your studio for ours, so thanks for coming. We always do this thing at the beginning, facts, Axe facts. This will be Axe facts.
Axe facts.
So just bear with me. And
that's probably the best one, actually.
I know. Had Axe facts.
Axe facts.
Yeah. We ripped it off of Adam Buxton.
Yeah.
Axel spent nearly 4 decades working in the advertising industry, creating and overseeing some of the most iconic campaigns this country has ever seen. In 1987, he co-founded Howell Henry Chaldecott Lury, an agency like no other, creating work like no other. I think we'll know some of these. Ronseal does exactly what it says on the tin.
Never heard of that one. Was that big, was it?
Yeah, I've heard. AA, the Fourth Emergency Service.
Wow, never heard of that one. That's just...
Here's one that wouldn't happen now. Pot Noodle, the slag of all snacks.
Probably my favourite.
And of course, the absolutely never going to be, when you've been Tango'd. So... those are just some of the campaigns that helped Howell Henry become Agency of the Decade, as voted by Campaign magazine in 2000. And then there was a buyout. Axel left. He went to JWT. Poor bloke ended up meeting me. And that's kind of it, really.
Yeah, downhill from there.
Sorry, Axel. And then you retired. I like the thing, when you go online, it says Axel officially retired from advertising. And you went back to art school, and you've been creating lovely print works that have been featured in the RA Summer Exhibition and at Royal Society of Painter and Printmakers. So it's... Blimey.
There you go.
But it's not like a Tyson Fury retirement. It's not like we'll just keep coming back for, there's one more campaign I need to do before I'm done.
That's it.
So welcome along. We have to ask, we always ask our guests what you're doing at the moment. So what's being created in the attic at the moment, or is there not?
I'm in sort of, thinking what to do next mode.
But you're not going to think as in going to do something else. You're thinking what's the next?
Yeah, next sort of subject matter.
Yeah. And how does it work? Because you were just saying you hire space at the printmakers in Putney, is that right?
Which is an art school.
Right, sorry, I get that right.
Printmakers in London that I go to, where you go for open access, and you pick your day, and when you got something you want to print,
right. That's quite interesting.
And along you go.
And what do you do with your prints? What's the you sell them? Is
it? Few, not many. They normally get sort of stored in boxes, and then
gifted.
Yes, and then when they're competitions, exhibitions coming up,
because
you enter them.
The Royal Academy. That's pretty mega.
Well, it's a lottery.
Is it? But is that like...
It is the one that's sort of almost the most of a lottery, if you see them.
But is it like sort of D&AD or is it like... Is there a hierarchy of those sort of shows which people go, that's the best?
It's very popular.
Right.
It's about the show that sort of like people feel they can go to, like Chelsea
accessible.
Flower Show, but it's in like the season type thing.
Yeah.
Chelsea Flower Show or Cheltenham Ray or the Royal Academy. Something. Do you know what I mean?
It's accessible though for people who go to it.
Yeah, it's up there. Because the other ones are more niche. Like the one at the last weekend, the London Original Print Fair. That one at Islington.
Yes, I saw you.
That's like a London art.
But you said that London art one. Do you have to actually? Because my niece had. That's why I was there. My niece Grace had this landscape there.
Great.
Do you get chosen to put your stuff there?
I think you have to be part of a gallery.
Yeah, that's right. She's a gallery in.
There's only
Bridport.
one called Imprint, which was called the Woolwich Contemporary Print Fair, which do half galleries, half curated. They get a group.
So
of
you can
together.
submit stuff to that, and they can go, we love
They'll
this.
get
We'll
a
just
group
put
of
it up.
people, artists, printmakers, to pick what they think is good to go up in a curated space that they've got, as well as all the galleries. So it's actually, in a way, sort of fairer for people who aren't part of a gallery.
Doing the print making, do you find it a nice release after having been within advertising and everyone's sort of like, change this, do that?
Well, you are sort of your own client, really.
Yeah.
There's nobody else involved. I mean, obviously, it's nice if people like what you do.
Yeah.
And it's nice if you sell the other one. But you're doing it for yourself, really.
Yeah. It's nice because I remember we had Dave Bonagidi, the real Hackney Dave, as he's known.
Yeah.
And
Bono.
Yeah, Bono. It was a sort of penny drop moment for me looking at him, and then I think he realised he was exactly where he wanted to be, because he wanted to create things, and that was it. And this is what I do, And I've experienced this personally. So when he did the front cover for my book, I said, "Oh, that's quite nice, the yellow and the pink," And I said, "Oh, Dave, can we try it in green?" And he says, "I don't do green." And it was like, and I sort of went. I showed my wife and I said, "What do you think? Is that
So it is green, the cover.
No, but the type.
Oh, the
There's
type. Okay.
So then he said, I do yellow, gold, pink.
Fluorescent pink.
That's it.
Yeah.
Now fuck off, sort of thing. But it was kind of like, it was sort of actually really lovely, reassuring. Okay, that's great.
Well, it's his sort of brand, isn't it?
Yeah. But do you have
fluorescent pink.
because I was looking at your stuff, it's the black and white stuff's amazing, but then the colour stuff is really different. They are very different styles.
Yeah.
Is that
That's deliberate.
purpose? Yeah.
In a way.
And is
One's silkscreen,
right?
where you can obviously use a lot more colours,
Yes.
fluorescent even, like Dave does. Dave's screen printer,
Yeah.
primarily. While etching and photogravure is more sort of monochromatic, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do colours, then it gets a bit complicated,
Is it
gets more complicated.
Is it a mood? Is it a mood thing? As in, like, today I want to be doing black and white stuff, or is it just?
Well, I do one day silkscreen printing and one day etching, so it's like
It's defined by where you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
great.
there you go.
And has your advertising world past crept into your screen printing
It
future?
must have done. And I'm not sure. I suppose, you what with having been to art school,
Yeah.
but since you see so much work, ideas, photographs, illustrators, that
Yeah.
it must sort of go in.
Imprinted, even.
Yeah. And sort of somehow this sort of, I don't know.
I got a thumbs up for the pun there, by the way.
This,
I spotted it.
this whether aesthetic is too grand a word, but this sort of way of looking at things
Yeah.
comes out in
Yeah.
what you're doing.
In
and
your
you
art,
think,
yeah.
oh, that looks nice. That doesn't look nice. And presumably that's a sort of judgment that's accrued over time.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
because you sort of, you do it and you step away and come back and sort of creative direct your own what you've done, really.
Yeah.
It's the skill and craft come from experience of doing it, right? And I think you're right. I think you fill your cup up over your career in advertising and surrounded by other people and reports and other creative teams. You go, well, this is how you could tweak this. This is how you can craft this. And if once you're out on your own, you can go, well,
Yeah, there's a sort of repository of sort of visual, I don't know. Yeah.
But it's really nice.
Imagery,
I've writing my book, I find that I love going back to sort of the beginning of the blank page and you're on your own again. You do have all of this sort of, this hard muscle of like being critiqued over years, but then you're going back, but you're on a bit more on your own terms.
Yeah.
And it is liberating, I think. I think the higher up you get in, certainly from your point of view, you went, you couldn't go much higher. And then you go, right, and I know some people stayed in the industry and are still there and enjoying it.
Yeah.
But there's points after which you go, I wouldn't mind having another go. And I think that's what happened with a bit with Dave.
Yes. Yeah.
And
He found it liberating, I think.
Yeah. Right, anyway, we're going to...
so we have a regular feature here called The Billboard at the End of My Street, which is sponsored by Super Optimal, design intelligence for out of home. So show us what you've got, Ax. What did you find us?
Well, this is environmental.
Is this art?
This is art. This is... I don't know what this... This is literally... I took this yesterday, and it was...
Whereabouts
near
is that?
East Putney Tube Station.
Okay.
Literally, just next to my local tube.
Do you want to try and describe that to our listeners?
It's pretty much blank white with a bit of torn off with a bit of black sort of remnants of a poster. What does it say? .com or something?
It says SS out. So I don't know if that's
out down there. And it sort of, I don't know, it just sort of felt to me like maybe sort of statement of the industry.
Maybe it's a subliminal campaign.
This is it's one of the sites from our friends at Build Hollywood, site number 0089.
Yeah, please fill it with something half decent.
But actually,
I mean, it looks like a blank canvas. It's an old ad that's been papered over because obviously
it's been like that for quite a few days, I think.
Funny enough, Build Hollywood do some absolutely outstanding. They house some great art.
Sometimes this happens when you had a client who has bought a 48 sheet and they bought it for a period of time, and if the media owner hasn't then sold the space, they go, well, we can't put this probably had a message on there that was about something that's gone in the past.
Oh, see, yeah.
And they paper it over with white, and then someone's very handily peeled it off.
But it sort of made me think more about because I think that's obviously out of home is like one of the last mass media to still exist.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're going to put something back up there that's half decent.
Do you?
But it also sort of made me think about the industry and how sort of, in contrast, a lot of the rest of the industry is sort of being atomized.
Yeah.
Highly fragmented. So it's actually quite hard to sort of build a sort of cohesive message, I suppose, get it out there, other than on...
It's also really unfortunate because with your printmaking hat on, you can go, well, this is a huge, like you said, this is a public medium. This is something that people walk past every day. They're on the way to the tube, they're on their way to work. And we have, a media owner here who have taken the time to go up and paste white paper over the top of their ad, whereas they could have been using that for an art piece. They could have gone to the local art school and said, "Hey, look, when there's no advertising up there, can we put a piece of print work up there? And we'll print it for you. It's good for the community." So. I know some media owners do that. They give away space, certainly on digital, to their charitable partners. And it's a shame that on some of these print sites, when you've got round the corner from where you are, you've got a great art school that has got printmaking facilities. They could donate. So there's our next opportunity.
I like that pitch, Dan. I mean, I wonder how much, because that it's just wasted, isn't it? At the moment, there's nothing there. And if you're like an aspiring creative person, it's a great place to exhibit your wares. I mean,
you can expect a phone call. Our friends at Build Hollywood, we've got a pitch for you.
Do you have a point of view at all about how the industry is at the moment, or what stuff you like?
Other than literally, as I was saying, posters being pretty much maybe cinema, but it depends on how much you go and see films at cinema. Is the last remaining punchy mass medium.
And TV like to think that it was as well, but it's been so fragmented by the digitization, hasn't it? And the hundreds of channels and appointment to view and streaming is killing it.
I don't watch much sport. I think with sport you still get ads then.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, I hardly see any ads.
Yeah, you can skip them and you can pre-roll, but you can skip them.
Well, even on like Channel 4, when you're actually going to try and find sort of, I don't know, Scandi Noir series, the ads they feed you, they sort of just peter out.
Yeah.
They give up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different medium than it was.
When you've decided to choose to watch a programme, you would have thought that they'd be going, right.
Yeah.
stand back.
Yeah, we know what he likes. Let's get him these ads.
It just literally peters out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right, we're going to talk about some work now, Ax. We're going to start with London Weekend Television. We're going to do it in a slight chronological order, which we like. This is a campaign from your time at Gold Greenlees Trott, or GGT, as it was known. But before we get into the work, just briefly, so you're with Steve Henry, your long-term partner.
Yep.
Tell us how you got your job at GDT, because I know it's a sought-after place, wasn't it?
It was. It was very small at the time.
Right.
I think they only had one creative team there, other than Dave Trott and Gordon Smith. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think it might have just been one creative. Paul Grubb. He'd just come out of somewhere like Sheffield Art School.
Right.
And I don't think his art director had joined.
Right.
Andy Lawson. Quite by then. Anyway. So I teamed up with Steve at a tiny agency called Crawford's.
Right.
Having been at Ogilvy's for 4 years or so.
Okay.
Terrible. It was like it had a good sort of historical rep, with David Ogilvy and all that, but it was a terrible agency at the time.
Yes.
Anyway, and Steve and I put a book together. We were on at Crawford's like 8 months or so.
Right.
So I was very lucky to find him and team up with him, and we worked on a portfolio, sort of combined our ideas, and Dave and Gordon thought, oh, this looks interesting. Well, they hired us anyway.
You hired it. One's a placement. It was a hiring. It was a job.
It was a hiring. It was a hiring.
Yeah.
It was a hiring. I don't remember many sort of placements happening back then.
No.
But anyway, It was a hiring. Very small. There were hardly any people there. There were, God, I don't know, 25, 30 people there in Old Compton Street. And
right in the middle of town. Lovely.
And they'd already, Gordon and Dave had already done some executions for this campaign we're about to talk about. And the idea behind the campaign had already been sort of sold to a chap called Ron Miller, who was the client.
Can I? Because there was two. There's two, as in ideas. There's the idea of.
There are three ideas.
There's turning stories into ads.
Yeah. There's three ideas.
You take. Come on.
So Mike Gold.
Yes.
Who was
He's the Gold of Gold Greenlees Trott.
That's right. And also, he was somewhere else before that. Can't remember what it was called now.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
He knew Ron Miller quite well. Being the media buying world was,
Yeah.
They all knew each other. Now, LWT used to be, they had an official agency called Creative Business that had their sort of B2B, running ads in campaign and marketing week, whatever, to client. Mm-hmm. But Mike had this idea that you could actually use sort of strategically placed outdoor media to promote programs as if you were advertising to the public, but actually what you're doing is advertising to clients and agencies, because most of the posters were placed, especially the out-of-home ones, strategically placed, like Bishopsbridge Road.
Right, by
where the media buyers are, where the TV buyers are.
Where the clients go to see their agencies, their presentations.
So that's...
it's actually B to B to C.
Yeah, or B
to C. B to C to B.
Whichever way.
For LWT.
On BTB.
So that was... And I don't, the creative business still had the LWT account. So it was sort of like a...
Okay.
But they had the business for like you said, but getting in campaign for media buyers and clients to see that LWT had an advertising opportunity for TV.
Yeah.
So
now the other thing Mike found out, I think, was that the poster industry is built on a sort of roughly monthly cycle.
Yeah, 2 weeks or 4 week rotations normally.
You build, you do your colour photography and all the rest of it, and then they go. I don't know. Back then, it might have been longer than 2 weeks. I don't know. Anyway, he found out that if you pre-print the logo, which also was a border around the edge, you then in colour, you then had a stock of sort of pretty much branded but blank posters in between. And black and white printing was a lot quicker. So that's why the campaign was primarily a black and white campaign with a branding.
And this was people. I heard about this. It blew my mind how fucking clever it is. So was it perplexing for people because I imagine they're going, how are they doing full color ads every week? And all that was changing was the middle.
Yes,
it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yes.
But was Gordon? Did you mention Gordon Smith? Because I sort of listened to a bit of Dave Dye. Well, I read up a bit about it, and so was he involved in it?
Yes, no doubt. No,
Gordon,
completely. I mean, they'd already had a spring burst before we joined in the summer. I think autumn. Summer.
So that's brilliant. So you've set the scene.
So there's the media. So there's the sort of media buying creativity. There's the production creativity, and then
write some ads.
and they're tactical as well because it's based on what's happening that week.
So unlike a lot of campaigns in our industry, where you can spend a lot of time procrastinating on, on client input and all the rest of it. Well, it take ages.
That's nonsense.
This had a weekly deadline.
Yeah,
brilliant.
And you had to, Dave and Gordon had to pick an idea. Yeah. Otherwise, you get a blank post-it.
Yeah.
It was like, which was quite, in a way, refreshing. Now, because I don't know how much LWT paid GGT, but we weren't allowed to work on it sort of in official time. It was a sort of out of hours.
Right.
So, Steve and I would get together on a Saturday morning and thrash out. We knew what the program was.
Yeah.
Thrash out ideas.
So you have a list of programs that are coming up on the programming,
well, I think they sort of gave us a program
a
week.
So it's, in effect, I was thinking about it. It's like virtually writing a topical ad every week, isn't it? Because you got this lovely thing. It's so fresh. It feels like, we're going to another one. So we're looking at, because we normally have us feature My First Billboard, but this, what we're looking at was your first billboard at Trott's and is your first billboard. So it's Churchill, right?
Yes.
Now, can you just
say first billboard?
Right.
Because actually, Ron Miller and I think it was John Burt who went on to run the BBC.
Right.
He was at LWT. They found this first billboard, which was it was a program called Churchill, The Wilderness Years. Mm-hmm. And the headline is, for 10 years, nobody took him seriously. And Churchill was sort of famous for smoking cigars. So the image is him smoking a cigar that's exploded. And he's got sort of scorch marks around his face.
Really
they
good.
found this slightly too, it's not rude, but,
Right.
I can't think of the right word for it.
Defamatory.
What? Because he's a national treasure. Because of the
this
war.
was 70. I don't know. This was 70. No,
Late 70s.
This was This was early 80s.
Early 80s.
So I don't know. They just found it a bit too jokey.
Right. Okay.
So
because it was Churchill.
Yes.
So we had to do the. Yeah.
So we had to very quickly.
Yeah, because how much turnaround did you have for that then?
Well, that was quite quick. It was to have the same headline, but then have a picture of Churchill, sort of what looks like flicking a V sign. Apparently, he used to get this confused. Sometimes it's
the right way around.
The right way around. Sometimes he's just telling people to bugger off. Anyway, so I don't know which is.
I much prefer the first one.
Well, exactly.
So
do you know what I mean? Anyway, so there you go.
So that's your first and second billboard in one.
Yeah.
So when you were doing, so we're now going to look at, we're just going to go through a few of them. This one says, this Sunday, Alan Wicker looks at love, and it's a pair of his glasses all steamed up. Did you have how did you work with Steve on it? Did you go, right, we're going to do an hour? Because I suppose you're trying to do your day job.
Yeah. And we got together on a Saturday.
What, your
place? Thrashed out some at his place.
And how long we say, like?
I don't know, morning.
Yeah, and
then we'd sort of, go back to our respective weekends, and then maybe on Sunday afternoon you'd have another go, and then you get together on Monday, sort of thrash out between yourselves what each other. Which ones you were going to present to then.
To
probably
Dave?
Monday, yeah, probably Monday afternoon, Tuesday.
And was it quite because Dave Trott is an icon of our industry. Was it nerve-wracking or exciting seeing him? How?
I think the sort of, I don't know, the sort of trust in terms of he'd employed us.
Right.
and he liked what we'd done, and we thought, right, well, let's just go for it. Yeah.
And were you presenting scamps? Or were you presenting...
Yeah, literally.
Oh, okay.
Layout. But I suppose Gordon and the first sort of tranche, I remember Private Eye being mentioned, because in a way it's not dissimilar. It's got a colour border, right? Black and white. Black and white speech bubbles, and some of the first campaign felt sort of as much inspired by Private Eye. There was
a social commentary. It's a.
I mean, they're funny. They're witty.
Yeah, they're funny. Yeah.
But I can't remember some of the executions anyway. But when we joined, I think the sort of breadth of ideas expanded a bit. So some of them are more sort of Esquire, old George Lewis Esquire covers, or even like the Wild Geese, which is not a particularly. And
is it all stock? Is it all stock image?
These are all shot.
Purpose shot.
Well, apart from obviously Churchill.
Yeah, Churchill. Yeah,
because that's
all part of that production cycle. How quick you have to turn this stuff around.
The photographer.
So did you have the same photographer on everything?
Same photographer. And a brilliant retoucher called Brian. I think his last name was Lomax, but he was brilliant.
But this is a classic. This poster we're looking at now. It's the Saturday film, The Wild Geese, and it's a nest, but with a load of grenades in. I remember at the time, so I must have been either at Watford College or about to go to Watford College, or we would have been shown this, and they would say, classic trots, but clever, brilliantly clever visual, that's it. I mean, was that beaten into you? Did you have that already inside you and Steve?
I think that's sort of, because that's sort of similar to,
this sort of thing,
surrealist, like, there's a lady called Merritt Oppenheim who did, she actually did a furry teacup.
Oh, okay.
But she also did a pair of white stiletto shoes tied like a roast chicken with two of those little paper, you get on
the paper chef's hats.
The paper chef's hat, which is just
great.
So powerful. So there's a bit of, the sort of juxtaposing. I mean, it wasn't a great movie, but it had people like Roger Moore and Richard
Burton
a classic as mercenaries.
But I think for this campaign, I was telling you outside, having built an agency that was primarily to service the digitization of out of home, and from 2010 onwards to create what we call dynamic content, which is data driven or event driven for what's happening in the real world. We were building campaigns that could react in real time. This is a forerunner for that stuff because it's updatable. It wasn't booked, it's booked as a standard poster campaign, but it's updating every week. It's keeping people refreshed. That's exactly what dynamic digital out of home has become, which is, looking at what's in the location, what's happening right now, what's on TV tonight, what the football results are, or anything like that. So I think this is it's definitely been in decks of mine as we're presenting to even ITV. We did something for Daybreak years ago. It was their morning show. Who's on the couch the next day kind of thing. This was in the deck because it's inspiring for people to see. Do you think this stuff has always happened?
It is, a sort of moment, isn't it? The campaign is a moment
in time.
It ticks all the boxes. It's geo-targeted. You said you were attacking both consumers and
definitely geo-targeted.
It's updatable and tactical, which ticks boxes for out of home. It's nicely designed. It's poster mentality. I mean, it's like this is in the history. This is what I said to you outside. It's in the history books, not just the annuals.
And you're at pains to talk about the other people who worked on it.
Yeah. So there was always another good idea. So so the one about old Laurence Olivier.
Yes.
That one.
Let's describe this for our listeners.
So it's basically a baby lying on its back, holding its hand up, and there's a mother's hand with a rattle on it, and the speech bubble is, this is sort of more Private Eye in a way. Is this a rattle I see before me? Which, is all right.
It's from the Lord of Olivier's early life, the TV show.
Yeah. But I think the other team, Paul Grubb and Andy Lawson, had a line that says, to pee or not to pee. That is the question. But I think LWT decided that
Did they nix that one?
That was a bit too. You know,
Well, how late in the day were these things happening?
So there was always another good idea.
Yeah.
You know, there were lots of ideas. I don't think and
so was it an open brief every week? So everyone knows we're doing this show.
And obviously,
or
as the agency got more successful, more creatives joined, and you know there were even more ideas because everyone wanted.
It's the Economist of its time, right?
Yeah, everyone wanted to.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I was reading some. So Dave, thank you so much for your help on all the research as ever. But today, you've been really helpful. There was a thing about the missile that's destroyed America, and there's this whole thing they go through about the different headlines which they'd written, like what was the last thing that was going through his head.
That was one of ours.
Was it really?
That was a bit of a joke.
I remember thinking, "Fucking hell."
That was a bit of a joke. That's a bit dark. That was like, from that joke, you know, what's the last thing that goes through a fly's mind when it hits a car windscreen? It's arse. It was sort of like based on that.
But it's like, I suppose
I could quite understand why they didn't run
that sort of furious, you need to have a lot in case you can't shoot it or the client doesn't like it, like you say. So was there a feeling of just energy you'd had to keep, just keep going?
I suppose the more teams joined, the more, I suppose not the more, the less you felt you had to keep going. After a while, you got into the swing of creating these, so you sort of thought, there you go. There's
the tone and the look and the feel, and you also knew that there'd be other good ideas. I mean, the Kennedy one, I think the line was something like one missile that destroyed America.
Yeah, and it's just the way it's held.
Line.
Yeah, it was. It's like a seminal. It's brilliant. It's a brilliant line. Right. Shall we?
So anyway,
brilliant. I think we've done enough on.
Well, we're going to stay with your time at GGT and move on to Time Out magazine with 3 phenomenal posters. Burning the candle at both ends is a brilliant metaphor for one of the most famous posters of all time, I think. You talk us through Time Out and your time on it.
Yeah, the candle at both ends. How did he come up with that, and then how did he shoot it?
Well, let me just backtrack.
Set the scene. Yes, please.
This must have been 2 years. We must have been about there at GGT for about 2 years, I think.
Right.
Because unlike a lot of other campaigns, or definitely the LWT campaign, for some reason we were given this campaign to work on our own.
Okay, so that's different.
Very different to how
open
the LWT campaign was created, and I can't really remember why. I think we'd won. There were quite a few awards for the agency for the Holston Pills campaign with Griff Rhys-Jones.
Yeah.
So maybe this was a reward.
Right.
If I was trotting. So we basically got this promote Time Out, which at the time, there's no social media, there's no internet. It was the only way really of finding out what the hell was going on in London. And it was a incredibly successful magazine. It had some great covers, again, a bit like those Esquire covers we mentioned. It also had some good articles, and you bought a copy because you sort of, even if you didn't do much, everything in it, you felt like you were part of London's sort of cultural.
You knew what was going on.
Scene, Anyway, so.
And it's still going now, by the way, online. It's still going.
Yeah. And it's global, right?
Yeah. So Steve and I, now how you sort of, you're always looking at things for ideas, and we actually found I think at the time there may just have been one volume of New Yorker cartoons.
Okay.
They were always very inspiring.
Yeah, brilliant. I love them so much.
And a bit like advertising images and headlines, you never had a caption describing exactly what the image said, and vice versa. There was always this sort of the combination of the two, a bit like advertising, created this sort of third sort of bigger meaning.
Yeah.
And there was a cartoon with in fact, it didn't have a caption. I don't think it had a caption.
Right.
It was a monk in a cell holding a candle at both ends, looking miserable. That was it.
This is really confusing me now.
I know.
I know where you're going to go with this.
know.
This is fucking brilliant.
So I think Steve, if I remember correctly, Steve said, wouldn't it be great if we had, so we,
Right.
yeah, great, let's do that. And then it might have been a while later.
Yeah.
I think I then went back to that cartoon and said, well, why was if we had the monk reading time out in a cell and he obviously can't, looking miserable because he can't.
So that's 2 for the price of 1. That.
2 for the price of 1 from one cartoon. Anyway.
It's brilliant. So on the
but it was very clever. New Yorker cartoons had a sort of sassiness about them. Sort of,
have you seen that documentary on it? On the New Yorker on Netflix.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it?
Really.
is it
good.
It's very good, yeah.
The editors who chose the cartoons.
Yeah, there's a whole bit about the cartoon because I've got 2 books at home about how they do it, and it's like it's just so.
Yeah, it's very
still
good.
Still do it.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's still a rich source of inspiration.
Yeah, no, totally.
For anyone.
On the
anyway, yeah.
the candle image, how did you shoot it as well? I'd be interested to know.
It was in black and white. I think the photographer. I think we used a chap called Derek Seagram at this point. It was just a close up of. I wonder whether it might have been comped.
I was going to say,
Yeah, it might have been comped.
It's very good.
Obviously, this bloke Brian, he was an amazing black and white retoucher, absolutely amazing. So I think he might have had a hand in it.
And is it also a metaphor for how hard you got worked at GGT? Is that
Yeah,
Were you?
yeah. I mean, it was hard work, but it was
rewarding,
'cause
though?
it was rewarding because unlike a lot of agencies, perhaps bigger agencies,
Well, network
it's very
agency, yeah.
rare that you got stuff out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got so much work produced. Yeah.
We're looking at another one, a map, which is the whole of the London Underground, and it just has 2 stops highlighted: home and work. And the headline says, "If you don't read Time Out, what you're doing in London." So, again, just like a really simple. Was there? Can you remember how you came to that, or was it like on the way to work one day, or did you? Can you remember? Because it's such a simple idea.
I think, yeah. I can't remember.
No, it's
I
brilliant.
can't remember. It. I think media-wise, I think they placed it on the platform side where a map would be, and in the tube
That's
cars,
Nice.
which probably for tourists caused a bit of confusion.
I quite like that, though. And they probably
Where's this place work?
yeah, and TFL probably wouldn't let you do that now either.
Probably
'cause
not.
it's So
No.
It does remind me, there was a brilliant poster which Richard and Andy and Nick Gill did, which was the whole of London and just had Eros and then your home, I think. Do you remember? They took everything else out of the way and it was all about TFL, we'll take you there. But it was it's similar sort of just...
I think
was it
maybe
that kind of 3D view thing?
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah.
Maybe before someone like Pentagram had done a poster for the Tate with tubes of paint.
Yes.
That was the Fine White Line, because I worked at the Fine White Line.
Did you?
Yeah, and it's a guy called David Hughes.
And it might have been
Sort of.
before then.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, it's great. I mean,
the tube map is so iconic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Time Out. It's a great campaign. Like you said, it's a bit like LWT, and you got to keep thinking what's going on and pumping stuff out.
It wasn't quite so pressurized in terms of turnaround. I don't think.
No. The okay, we're gonna sort of jump along a bit now, Steve. Axel. No,
That's
because
funny.
I'm very aware that we need to.
There was a director. We had a team called Liz and Dave.
Oh yes,
who came up?
Liz
with
Whiston
Ronseal.
and Dave
Shelton.
Very good.
Anyway, they were working with the director, and they kept saying, "Oh well, Stephen Axel got to see this. Stephen Axel this. Stephen Axel that."
Right.
Anyway, by which point, when he met, I think he met one of us. He thought One of us was, that's Stephen Axe.
Stephen Axe. Brilliant.
Funny.
Very
Anyway.
good. Very good. So you were at GDT, great success on Wholesome Pills. You went to WSRS. I mean, because our show's about billboards, obviously we're bypassing some amazing TV work you did. Carlin Black labelled you.
We can put some links to it on the description, but we'll move in. We're staying on billboards.
You subverted the Levi's laundrette ad, which is, I remember.
Yeah, that's one of my favourites.
And so you launch Howell Henry Chaldecott Lury in '87. Did you realise at the time you were going to be like agency of the decade, all this kind of like amazing success, or were you just going, fuck this, I just want to do my own thing? Was it a...
Well, Steve had met Rupert through social thing, I think.
Right.
Cricket. And sort of at the last minute, we met Adam Lury. Very good planner, very good planner, very bright. And one of Steve's very old friends, Robin Price, was a sort of behind-the-scenes partner.
Right.
Financial and sort of chief operating officer, made sure that despite the rumours that we were solvent rather than going bust where it was that campaign thought
in between projects.
Yeah. So it felt like the sort of right thing to do.
Yeah.
We were sort of quietly confident rather than quietly terrified.
Well, that's good.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, in those days, anyway, you just needed a room.
Did it feel...
pads. There was no sort of real, maybe a photocopier. Did
it feel entrepreneurial, or did it feel like just a natural step?
It felt yeah, I think we all sort of gave each other enough confidence that it just felt quite a sort of natural thing to do.
Yeah, I think that's important.
I may be looking at it through rose-tinted
glasses. No, but you also... we have the benefit of looking.
Yeah,
you have the benefit of looking back, right? And you go, actually, at that time, when you're in it, you're just going, yeah, let's do it, let's go.
We had to hand our cars back. I had to hand the telly back to radio rentals and it was we had to sort of cut back quite a bit.
Yeah,
and was it just the four of you, and then did it?
Well, Robin joined us from very first on. Yeah.
And then did you quickly, put on clients and staff?
Yeah, had I think his reputation from Y&R was he was like one of the best new business directors Y&R I'd ever had or something.
Right.
Or so he told us. No. Anyway, so we got clients quite quickly. And this particular one was quite a massive one because it was a Midland bank that came to us and said, look, we haven't got long. We want to launch this completely new type of bank, which meant that we were only about a year and a half in. We had to close our doors for new business because this is quite some task.
Wow.
And they had already appointed Wolf Olins as a design brand consultancy.
Right.
So that was actually really good for us because there was a chap there called Paul Jarvis who'd done a lot of thinking in terms of how to make this
positionally.
How to make it more, how to make it different, iconic, but also in a way how to communicate. He'd done this sort of thinking where he'd put all the typical bank ads,
right,
and they all merged into this sort of grey.
Yeah, because it was a very fresh tone, wasn't it, when it came out?
And he had this idea that you either communicate in a sort of very almost like pharmaceutical, very factual, black and white way, or in this sort of exuberant full colour. Funny enough, it doesn't use so much colour anymore, first rate, but full colour, sort of fluorescent, sort of 100% exotic, surreal, whatever.
Yeah.
But don't do,
in between,
whatever you do, don't do what's happening.
The middle ground.
In the middle.
Yeah.
So we took that and thought, great. But then also as a sort of, a positioning, we thought, well, it's such a step change. First Direct is such a step change in banking that we had to create a step change in bank advertising. Because at the time, Ligas Delaney had the Nationwide campaign.
Yeah,
thing,
I remember that.
Classic Ligas, long copy.
Yeah, Tim Delaney.
With Tim Delaney, witty headlines.
Yeah.
I think Lowe's had Lloyd's.
Yeah.
Again, not quite so long copy. Witty headlines.
Yeah.
Very sort of word-based logo.
Yeah.
Bottom right. So that was the context. And we had to launch this thing on a fraction of the budget that they had. There was television and print, but out of home, we had this. I think the line was also on print we had, but it was like banking without branches. It's extraordinary, because it was at the time. People go, "Where's my money?" Anyway.
Yeah.
So I remember Steve and I having quite a long debate about what we're going to show visually, because it's extraordinary. You could show sort of something completely. I don't know. I think maybe at the time, Hubble telescope was
right.
Like these sort of galaxies and stars or whatever. But somehow, after a lot of discussion, we thought, well, maybe it's more powerful or more unadvertising to just show sort of really
the mundane,
extraordinary images. And we found this photographer called called Peter Fraser, who'd done this book called Two Blue Buckets, and he was a sort of art. He still is. He's an art photographer, and by somehow doing these images.
What's his name again, Ax? Sorry, say his name.
Peter Fraser.
Thank you, mate.
Two Blue Buckets. His Two Blue Buckets did feature later on in the campaign. But anyway, where he had this sort of forensic eye for ordinary things that suddenly made them almost, iconic. So we got him to go around shooting things
like a red
empty washing basket.
Yeah, on top of a
can I just quote
self-assembly.
Can I just quote back to you during our correspondence on this? A completely irrelevant image that caused the ad industry to think we had completely lost the plot.
Yes.
So
funny, I'm back to the New Yorker cartoon. We were saying how in advertising, your headline and your visual always had to sort of relate to. If we were heading down this road of creating the most sort of non-traditional advertising for the most non-traditional bank, then one of the things we thought, why not? In a way, there's just an end line. There's no headline.
Yes.
And I don't know, you sort of people did try and
work it out.
Bizarrely.
Yeah.
Sort of like,
post-rationalise something.
Like home banking or...
Because
you know what I mean? Or,
I was looking at
I
it.
don't need to leave the home to go to the bank.
Well, that's where I was going, because I was thinking...
But that was not the intention.
No, okay, because the next image we're looking at, so again, Dave Dye, thank you for these, or Ax, I know you might have had them. They had milk bottles, which were brilliantly shot, and then Wellington boots. Were they shot by Peter? Because I thought, it's stuff at home. I don't have to leave to go to the bank.
To do my banking,
But it wasn't that.
No.
It is now.
But then how did it go with the client? Because I suppose if
we had a very brave, trusting client, called Jan Smith, who she bought. Jarvis played a big part in the whole thing because he sort of almost worked from.
Right.
We all worked together.
Yeah.
And she had, it was a big act of faith, trust.
Yeah.
She bought it all.
But had she already bought, we'll do our last campaign in a minute. Did she buy the simultaneous TV ads on different sites? Yes. So I know we haven't talked about that, but just very quickly for listeners, the bank was launched with 2 ads running at exactly the same time on 2 different channels. I mean, just the most audacious approach to launching a bank is still now, I feel like it's a seminal moment for such a
pretty much first interactive.
Yeah. We're going to have to rush along, Axel, because you've been so helpful. And Dan's just given me the international sign for hurry up.
Okay.
I didn't actually point to my watch.
How long have we got?
I just gave him the 10 minutes.
10 minutes, right. Okay, very quickly.
So anyway, Howell Henry, brilliant. We'll have to sort of end. I mean, obviously, we said at the top of the show, so much great work. You know, you did with Trevor now. I remember going.
Just as we close off on Howell Henry, so you had it for 15 years and sold.
Yes.
And was that an emotional moment? As it kind of.
It was. To be honest, it was
relief.
Because we'd had a bloody good time, and you know, some agencies last forever. I think it was sort of on the cards that we weren't going to, you know, carry on like that. It was so full on. Adam had decided, well, especially after we got bought by Tim Bell's Chime PR company. Yeah, Adam. He didn't really want to be part of that, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Rupert wanted to step up and do, you know, bigger things. So and then the .com crash happened. It was a slippery slope, but it burned brightly.
You burned bright. And it also, people talk about mother now, but then I don't know if it's fair to say you were like the mother of the time, but you were before mother. You know, you were like, you really were out there. I remember we used to say, me and Adam going, fucking that's a bit Howell Henry, isn't it, that? You know, and I remember going in with our book to Trev and Al, and Al just used to look at us and he'd say sometimes, never underestimate the power of a wee smile. And just looked at us, and Adam and I never forgot it, and we kept thinking, does that mean our work needs to be funnier? And then Trev would say, that's good, change this, come back next week. So we come back and we coloured it all in. And he said, why have you coloured it in? Yeah. And he said, you think it's good, don't you? It's shit. Don't colour it in. Don't waste time colouring stuff in. But you can say that to people when they do stuff up. You get these decks now, and they're like polished, and they're rubbish. And you go, just show us the ideas. Anyway, Howell Henry, what a time. So we're going to finish on HSBC at JWT, where you and I finally met.
Yep.
And you were very kind to me and liked some of my ideas. Part of this time was the Points of View campaign, which was massive. And it was around the world, a truly global campaign where you used... Well, you explained to us, actually.
So at the time, sort of global advertising was either lowest common denominator type stuff or sort of exported. And I say Americana, I don't mean sort of old-fashioned, you know, well, jeans probably were, Levi's at the time. But... Nike and Apple.
Yeah.
So there were very few sort of truly global campaigns.
Yes.
That, in a way, everyone could contribute to. And the starting point was actually we had a workshop. There was no ideas created.
Right.
But the creatives were there. So they were there at the start. So they had a sense of ownership, even though we'd vaguely honed in on this sort of strategy about differences being important. But they all went back to their offices, and then we, over a number of weeks, started to explore what the work would look like. Funny enough, the original, this concept of 4 images, 2 images, but repeated, did actually come from New York. No. But it had a sort of, it had an invitation to join in. You know, you could... It was like one of these things, that a gift that kept on giving. You know, and the number of ideas people could... In
terms of a framework for the creatives,
Yes.
So I'll just describe it. It says carrots and a bowl of carrot soup, and over the carrots it says order, and then over the soup it says chaos, and then over the carrots it says chaos, and over the soup it says order. So it's playing with your mind a bit, isn't it? And so there was so many.
They all sort of, you, the viewer, bring your own meaning to it.
Yeah.
You know, and they're sort of mentally interactive. They're not typical posters like didactic, you know. No. This is what, however witty or funny, this is what we want you to think of us.
It goes back to what, you know, the involvement is critical piece is like you're getting people to be part of the conversation by giving them something to think about.
They don't normally even queuing up for a plane.
They don't realise,
And they you know, they've got a bit of time on their hands.
Yeah.
And some of them are cultural, some of them are universal, like the love cats. Or hate dogs, cats.
It's a bit Marmite, isn't it? Like you love it, you loathe it.
Some of them are these, you know. Anyway,
yes.
So they have this sort of non-didactic mentally involving power to them, I think.
Yeah. There's some, and you've brought along a book as well, which sort of was that
JWT published that as a sort of way of thanking all the creators, but also showing what can be done. And
the whole point is people see the world in different ways.
Yeah, but then you sort of see the other side too.
Yeah,
but rather like the Ronseal campaign you mentioned, which has a sort of linguistic longevity to it. This apparently is like used in art schools as a sort of examples of non-didactic sort of this what I call mentally interactive. Also, an example of a global campaign that's inclusive rather than
there's this
too corporate.
I can't read this out because I'm not clever enough. This academic. Can you recall this? This.
Well, anyway, it was this lady.
A post-structuralist concept.
Yes, of mise en abîme, which I think is sort of like something about in the middle. That cognitive moment when we realise when presented with two binaries that neither is defensible and the actual meaning lives in the gap in between.
And you're just trying to write a simple poster.
But it's just fascinating how.
I mean, I think you could run it now. This campaign.
Yeah, it's timeless.
It's absolutely.
I mean, I did the carrot and the first poster. I took all the branding off while I was doing a chat to. The JWT creative team. I took all the branding off and sort of, I don't know, maybe rather grandly put it in an art gallery.
Yeah.
Because there's something about the mechanic which feels sort of as much like Jenny Holzer and Barbara
it's pure,
Kruger,
isn't it?
as sort of, it's just sort of, it just gets you thinking.
It's great. I mean, surely that's what all of our, without saying too pompous, that's what we want. That's what we're trying to do in advertising, is make people think and hopefully decide and buy a brand. We're going to skip towards the end, Axe, and we're going to ask about your favourite poster.
Yes.
Which
now this didn't
comes sublime to the ridiculous.
Yes, this didn't run.
Okay.
This was in a student's book.
Okay, but
it's always stuck with me as just a fantastic, simple, witty. Says everything about the product in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at the time that Krispy Kremes came to the UK. We all knew, even if we hadn't tasted one, I think we all knew that they were guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
And as a way of, perhaps a really pathetic way of making you feel better for eating one, the students had literally written 100% fat-free with an arrow pointing to the circle, which is obviously
the
empty.
hole in the middle.
In the middle. And it just, I don't know, as a poster,
it's great.
It is. Well, you could say it's didactic, but it's not. It's actually, it pulls the rug a bit.
It's good. And I think, if you were,
I don't know who those students, I can't remember your names, but well done.
Yeah,
we're still in the industry.
We'll put it on the description. If anyone knows and wants to claim it, then they should shout.
A whole raft of people writing in. It was me.
But this is the classic one that the super optimal guys would run through the system, and it would do very well because it's meeting the poster rules and mentality. It's there's product, there's logo, there's witty, it's actually got a really
emotive, great tone of voice.
Yeah,
as well,
it's great,
isn't it?
and it's very
it's
fun.
It's got this sort of hey.
Yeah, a smile every now and again, right? There you go.
Yeah. Axe, thanks so much. Honestly, we could have talked and talked. I hope we've done justice to it. I mean, it's a show about billboards. We did talk about other stuff, but we really appreciate you coming in and
thank you,
sharing your stuff. It's
been a pleasure.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. Now back to the printing. Yes. Okay, that was great. Didn't disappoint, did it?
Lovely.
Yeah, lovely man, isn't he?
Very nice.
Really, thank you, Axe, for coming on and sharing all that.
I love that HSBC work, and I think you go the world's local bank from, it's not not an easy step to make. But when you see that work, you go, "Oh, I can see how it's just everything is."
It's got longevity,
well
isn't
thought
it?
out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very. There will be a kind of very academical, forensic way of why it works, but creatives also just go, "Oh,
you know what I love hearing from Max? He goes, yeah, we were looking at New Yorker cartoons," but that's the thing for any creative team. I'll do it. You get inspired sitting in traffic. We've heard that before, right? You get inspired sitting on the train, or reading the newspaper, or doing a word search, or reading the New Yorker. I mean, it happens.
It's great, and Axel's so honest, because you could have made up some bullshit going, "Yeah, we had this amazing thought," and blah blah blah.
We've got Tim Riley coming back to us in a few weeks. And I will never forget that conversation where we talk about, Mad Magazine, and it's that kind of stuff where you get the inspiration from, and it can turn into the world's best billboard.
I mean, that's sort of, that's why we're here. That's what we do. So thank you, Axe, for coming in and sharing all that. The timeout story about the monk candles, again, like 2 for 1.
And thank you also to our friends here at Soho Radio, Viral Tribe. Podcast specialists. So if you want the space for your podcast, come in and speak to Adrian. He's our good friend.
Thanks, Adrian.
And to Gas Music for our music, and also to our other sponsors.
Dan.
Yeah.
Do you know what I do? Genuinely, do you know what I love about outdoor?
No, I don't.
Loads and loads. But one of the best things, I think Heg actually mentioned it, but we're champions of this. You can't swipe it. You can't skip it. It's everywhere. It's real and it's there. And if it's done well, the impact is massive.
You're saying it's omnipresent. Do you like that word?
Ooh. Swallowed the dictionary.
I think Bauer Media Outdoor really get that as well. I mean, they've got the scale as well to back that up. They've got 33,000 sites across the UK. But I think what's great is, having such a big media owner on board as a sponsor is the way they help our community and brands actually use the space properly.
Yeah, and they've got tons of guidance. How to craft great posters, making sure designs are not just seen but actually remembered, which is the absolute, the most important thing.
Powerful posters, if you will.
Exactly.
We're really lucky. This episode is brought to you by Bauer Media Outdoor. They're one of the UK's largest out-of-home media owners. The billboard at the end of my street is brought to you by Super Optimal. Design intelligence for out-of-home. Super Optimal delivers simple, machine-driven analysis and actionable insights for reviewing and improving out-of-home ad design. Designers and media teams can quickly analyze billboard and poster designs, gain optimization feedback, and deliver out-of-home design that is fit for purpose. Test and learn. Make informed design decisions and elevate your out-of-home campaigns at superoptimal.ai.
Ooh, That's Nice is brought to you by View to Fill, the out-of-home campaign photography and video experts. View to Fill have spent a decade mastering the art of out-of-home campaign capture. They know how these campaigns run: adaptive display schedules, dynamic creatives, and high expectations. That's why brands trust them to deliver stunning photography and next-level videography. From drones to time-lapse and motion capture, View to Fill turn your campaign into powerful content that lives far beyond the humble billboard. Because out-of-home campaigns are not just about being seen, it's about being remembered and creating a legacy. Want to future-proof your next campaign? Visit View to Fill to capture the essence of your campaign. Our music is sponsored by Gas Music, delivering sound, music, and magic.
And thank you.
Okay. Here we go. Thank you, Dan.
Lots more exciting stuff to come.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
We've got loads of stuff coming up. We'll be at the Woo conference very soon, so that's gone out. That was very exciting. More stuff to come.
Okay.
See you soon. Follow us on social. Bye bye. Bye bye.